Right, guys. Um, I was just looking at these Brit rants, and a lot of it's still on this prices of groceries and that in the UK supermarkets. So I did a comparison between Bulgaria and the UK. A comparison of what I would consider um, proper food, right? And that is good proteins, whole animals, and um, dairy products and um, eggs, right? Because they're looking at things like one girl had this Weetabix up, and it was $3.99 Weetabix. That was in a discount shop. I think it was Aldi's. So that's the price. That's the price of four lamb chops, and it's highly processed garbage, basically carbs, right? And you know, if you eat proper foods, you don't need much of it. Because I have about 90% protein and fats and dairy and the veg in that I have now, it's mostly fermented stuff, and it's all good stuff, I think, anyway. And it's proper food, animals, and they have these shopping halls, and I'd say a lot of it's not even. I wouldn't even class as food really, like Pop Tarts and all this garbage. And if you're hard up and you're deciding whether to eat or eat, um, as they say, then you've got to look at the whole picture. And I think you can still live in the UK. Depends on your setup. I don't think many people are going to be getting on the housing ladder, but that's probably a good thing now because the figures don't work on these long mortgages, a 30-year mortgage. The figures don't stack up. They don't. It's no good unless you've got an exit plan or you're buying a doer-upper and you're going to try and, at least flip it for like living there for a couple of years or 3 years or whatever, or 5 years, and then move on to another one, and just kind of try and live for nothing. Your profits, your equity, Anyway, so that's aside. So I had a look at the main stuff that I've been buying the last few days in Bulgaria. Rabbit, it's the same price as the UK. You can get it cheaper in the UK actually. Lamb, it's a little bit cheaper here, and it didn't used to be, so it must have gone up a bit in the UK. The lamb is around about it's just over £12 a kilo, and this is what you got to start looking at as well, because they're very deceptive. These supermarkets with price per kilo. That's what you got to look at, and a lot of proteins in there aren't. They're not bad per kilo. So we also had to look at butter. The same. It's cheaper in England. Cheaper, not much. Asda's own brand salted butter is £1.99. It's cheaper than Bulgaria. It's mainly German butter here, but they've got onto it, get onto everything here. They've got onto the good quality steaks now, the meat. and that's. I think it's more expensive here because it's not really a thing. Nor is lamb. Lamb's seasonal. They only have lamb sort of one period of the year here. Rotisserie chicken, the same. Now, if you go to Costco, and there's a fee to join there, so it's like, you'd have to include that in somewhere along the line. And if you don't do your regular shop there, or you're not near one, I mean, take Costco out of the equation, really. And it's not that cheap either. Good quality, not that cheap. We've got Metro here, and it's very similar, but you don't pay to join. So trout, I had a look at trout, and I think it's come down a bit in England, actually. And it's about the same as here, but I would say the quality is way better here. Way better, for pristine mountain streams, rivers. It's a lot of it's farms, but they're on the river. They're actually just sluices off the river, so it's basically the river water, and you're in these farms all down the valley. There's a lot just up the mountains from Plovdiv to Chepelary. It's a good river for trout, and they just let the river run through the farms, so it's all good stuff, and very healthy looking fish, very healthy. And eggs, they're slightly cheaper here, but you can get them. There again, you've got to watch the way they package them. Price per egg. I mean, that Asda are very good because they give price per egg. And it's round about. I mean, the cheapest one you can get is about 14 pence, but they're going to be El Cheapo small. If they still do small, I don't see many small eggs here. Only medium and large, and I always buy large. I don't see the point in buying medium eggs. I suppose you could weigh them and see how much you're getting extra for the price in medium and large eggs, but I don't know. I don't know the price difference. I never look at medium eggs anyway. So they're about the same here, but the cheaper ones are cheaper in England. They're round about. No, they're just a bit less here, just under 20 pence generally. Eggs, from 15 to 20 pence. So, what I would say to these people who say they can't eat, I mean, I'm eating here all this protein, fresh trout, rotisserie chicken, and I have, all the herbs and either in the garden, mostly. I grow all sorts of herbs like chives and all that. I was growing like green beans in there, and if times got tough, I've got plenty of room now because I've just cleared a big patch of land at the back. But for what you get out of it, and you've got to water stuff now as well, in these hot summers as well. So it would be handy to have a few tanks because I can fill them before the summer. If I was going to go down that route. But I don't eat. Well, I do. I eat certain vegetables now, not many. Because a lot of them have got lectins in and oxalates. And they were playing havoc with my joints. And which has improved now. So I'm not, I wouldn't say I was on carnivore. And I eat the dairy, fermented dairy products, yogurt, best in the world, Bulgaria. It's the best culture in the world, the yogurt culture. and you can add whatever you want to it. And if you ever have the yogurt here and then go and buy like a ski yogurt or a Danone, and the tiny things, it doesn't compare. And you can put, if you want like a flavour in here, you can put stuff in it. You can make flavouring with vanilla, things like that, and raw honey. I get raw honey from the valley, and big jars. It's not cheap, but it's not. It's about £7 a jar, but it's a big jar, and it lasts for ages. I just drizzle it in, and I have hemp seeds. And I'm into the hummus now, the hummus with pumpkin seeds, superfoods. They're all superfoods, I've just mentioned, including the yogurt. So while they're looking at like Weetabix, a £4, for these packets, like cardboard, cornflakes and all that, it's complete garbage. It's not good for you. Carbs. And the milk in the UK, you wouldn't even bother with it. It's like white water, and I would say there's no nutrition in there whatsoever. So if you were going to make curries in that, and it's good to use whole chickens as well to make curries and even stews. I like making curries out of the whole chicken, and you get loads of portions, and you can, if you're sure, you can spin that out with rice. I usually put half rice and half curry, and I only eat really one meal a day, and if I want, I've had rabbit stew today, and nothing else. I'm drinking water. That's another thing. What's expensive? If you smoke in England, you're on a loser. It's absolutely so expensive. It's less than £3 a packet of cigarettes here. I don't smoke, but that's what it is here. And a lot of people are smoking again now in Bulgaria. I've noticed when I'm in the queue in the supermarket, a lot of people are buying ciggies. I just noticed that they're always buying cigarettes. Beer's cheap here, but I don't drink beer either. I'm just saying. So you could do a meal plan. And a lot of the people who are on these things, these Brit rants and that, talking about food, price of food, aren't thin. They're not thin, these people. And so they're obviously, if you're not thin or slim, you're eating too much. And even I don't lose weight very easily. Really, I've just kept my weight down by eating one meal a day, really. And I have the odd occasional junk and that, and cheese, and cheese is good for you. And I don't eat bread. I knocked it on the head. Bread on the head. Don't eat bread, and you don't need it. If you eat good protein and enough of it, in your meal, and fat. I eat pure fat, pig's fat. Now I do afford myself some treats, and one of them is British bacon, and that's more expensive here as well. So all these people that saying that they can't afford to eat, the food is around about the same now as the rest of Europe, I would say, except for the outliers like North Macedonia, which is cheap as chips. And if you go to the local markets, you know it's good. And I noticed actually on Numbeo, the cost of vegetables, like things like onions and that in the UK, because no one grows them. It's all unless you got a farm shop. I used to go to a good one in Maghull, on the road from Maghull to Southport. There's a good farm shop there. But even that, they were getting specialised. It wasn't, half of it wasn't local. So you're eating food there from Morocco, Spain, Ecuador. You know, so it's going to be expensive because of the fuel. We've got to get it there. Like here, nearly all the veg and that, and fruits and veg, are local and seasonal. Like you won't see, I haven't seen leeks for ages in shops because it's seasonal, and they won't import them. You can get them if you look high and low, and you can also get different stuff in Lidl than you can anywhere else, like celery. They have a different type of celery here, but the celery that we normally see, and that comes from Turkey, I think. No. So even when they import stuff here, it's from the countries around, because you can almost grow round the clock from here to Sicily, round the year round. You know, they're producing tomatoes in the winter over there, Sicily. When we went, it was in polytunnels, but like it's big business over there. And you get all of the things now. They're growing different types of melons here now as well. And I think they grow them in South Bulgaria. They can grow them, and they've started doing all the other popular types now, like honeydew. They only used to have the one melon here, and they were mushy inside. I didn't like them at all, and I don't like watermelons. So anyway, so you could put a meal together where you're not eating Weetabix and garbage milk and Weetabix, £4, and all that stuff, and a lot of them are pulling these packets out, saying, "Look at the price of this. Look at this." All packets. You don't have to you don't have to buy that shit. I on my junk food little list, I have from time to time, and I've gone off them even now a little bit, is pizzas. I have little fads on pizzas. And I have other things like junk. So nobody's going to be perfect on the diet. I'm not preaching. I'm just saying it's not food. Isn't. I don't think it's that expensive in the UK as they're making it out to be. That's one of the main cost of living crises. Food. I just don't think it is. I'm just looking at the prices. I can see them. Here, sat in Bulgaria, I can look at them in Asda and that, and I think it's not unreasonable, the food, and the good food. If you had 2 eggs for breakfast or a yogurt with hemp seeds and all that, some other superfoods in them, pistachios or whatever, then you'd be eating a lot cheaper than Weetabix on this white water they call milk. You'd be eating well. A couple of eggs in the morning, keep you going. And even get for snacks and that. You can make Scotch eggs. I make them now. Do them in the air fryer. If I need something like that. And a Scotch egg, keep it going. It's pure protein. And they're usually made with pork and you can put oats in that in the casing and all sorts. And I do it with beef mince. And I don't know how much they cost per Scotch egg, but like if you do them yourself, and they're a really good snack, Scotch eggs, they'll do you. If you're one of these people, like a tubby person who needs to eat all day, that's the type of thing you want to be eating, and you might lose a bit of weight as well. And you could put a meal plan together. I mean, I'm generally on, I would say, £5 or £6 a day, English money, and the food I've just been through it. It's the same price. It's never been that cheap here, Bulgaria, and I'm still living on like, well, this year I'm going to be on €8,000 for the whole year. And I'd say I eat perfect meals every day. Well, I have one meal a day. And I know, like, say you've got growing kids in that, and they're always eating junk as well, kids. But if it's not there, they can't eat it. If it's not there, they can't. If you can't afford it and you don't buy it, they can't. Well, they can't eat. What are they going to do? They might moan for a bit till they get really hungry, and then they'll be eating boiled eggs. I used to eat a lot of eggs when I was a kid. When I was a child, poached eggs. And they were farm fresh then, and in them days they really were fresh. We lived in Skelmersdale, which was at the end of the earth, the pit, still is now, if you ask me, anyway. The ends of the earth. But you could get farm fresh stuff from around Skem. Anyway, so I think you can still eat if you buy proper food, and you've just got, and the packet stuff is sky high. They're not wrong there. But that's what they're buying. Just buy protein and like, I buy the pure, it's popular here, pure pig fat, tallow, pure pig fat. And that's all the cooking now. No seed oils, and I don't buy the olive oil now. Because A, it's too expensive, and B, there's a lot of counterfeit olive oil knocking about all over the world. And you just never know. And if it's counterfeit, it's going to be something nasty in there, So I don't buy that anymore. I only cook in lard and butter. And the lard's, it's good to cook in. If you're of a certain mindset, like a carnivore type, if you believe in that, rather than no carbs, or very few. The only carbs I have now really is potato, rice, and I have the odd Melba toasts, because I like I get these little terrines of pate, and that's good to have as a snack. It's not expensive, pate. There's all these things, and they're good for you. If you can get good, like a duck liver pate, that's generally that's what's in it. Anyway, so that's what I would say on the food. If you've got to look at these things in a different way. And they keep saying, like, in this day and age, look what I've just, and the meal deals, they're all moaning about meal deals. Make your own stuff. If it's too expensive, make your own stuff. You can easily throw some egg mayonnaise together. Make some sandwiches if that's what you want. You don't need the bag of crisps with them either. Or make Scotch eggs. They're easy to carry around. That kind of thing, Scotch eggs. And I had 2 slow cookers in the UK, one at work, the same model, so you can interchange. And I used to eat proper food at work, proper stew, curry. Everyone used to be salivating when they come in my little office. And I've got the curry on. So. And the other nationalities used to eat good stuff. The Indians, they were always well looked after by their Mrs. Indians, Mrs. Singh, and the Poles. They eat some strange stuff. The Polish, a lot of it's in jars and pickles and all that. Schlep, they call it, Polish schlep, but I don't like it. But yeah, so that's what you can eat, and no bread, no Weetabix, none of that garbage. Not in this house, anyway. Okay, cheers.